Me and Melanie didn't really meet at first. She was my best friend's boss, and my best friend was working at Pizza Hut, and he told me that his boss was really cute, and I told him there's no way because she works at Pizza Hut. And then he showed me a picture of his boss, and I was like, wow, she's really pretty. I added her on Facebook, and she never added me back.
First thing I know, Casey is coming up to me at one of our shifts together, and he was like, oh hey, my friend said he tried to add you on Facebook and he didn't add him back. And I was like, oh, okay.
A couple weeks went by, and my friend Casey had said something to her, and then all of a sudden she added me as a friend on Facebook.
A few days later, he messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, and then I was like, oh, that's super weird. I was like, I don't even know who this is. So I didn't even open the message because I didn't want him to see that I viewed it.
She didn't respond, so I felt pretty dumb.
And then I go to work, I think a week and a half later, Casey came up to me again. He's like, so my friend tried messaging you and he said he didn't write back. And I was like, oh man, I can't show up to work without getting harassed about this.
All of a sudden, I just got this message from her saying, hey. Like a month and a half after I had tried talking to her. From then, we talked every single day.
And then when he got back, he asked me to hang out with him or go for a drive. And I was like, okay.
And she talked a ton. She told me that she was shy before, and she just exploded into talking. And I didn't know what to say to her, and she just kept talking and talking and talking, and I just kind of sat there in silence.
He was just super shy, so that was just, I was trying to fill the silence, because if I can be shy, but he was super shy, so I felt like I tried to keep talking, and then he just, yeah.
It was kind of really cool because we had talked so much that I kind of knew her, but didn't really know her. This is the first time I held her hand.
He took me up to Tibble Fork.
We kind of just sat and looked at the lake.
And I was not in hand holding position. I wasn't trying to hint to him. I just had my arms folded because I was like, yeah, I'm not ready for this the second time. But he was seeming super into it.
I just wanted to hold her hand.
So I went like this, and then he went for it. He reached for my hand when I was folded.
I just grabbed her hand, and she let me. So.
And at that point, I was like, well, I can't just let go. It's too rude.
Our first official date was kind of weird.
We went to Texas Roadhouse because he's obsessed with that place. It was a long wait.
So we went to the mall, and she had this little key pocket knife.
I was playing around with it just because I was kind of just oh, we're just walking around the mall, just playing with it. And then I was kind of opening and closing it inside of I think my hoodie jacket or something.
And all of a sudden she pulled up her hand, and she's like, I just cut myself, and was bleeding all over the place.
And I went to the bathroom, so there was dried blood getting all over my hands, so I had to go wash it off.
And then we went back, and we're still sitting waiting to go to dinner.
I'd seen his parents before that point, because if I remember, I was looking, and I saw this couple walking in, and I was like, is that your parents or something? And then he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, yeah. And then he calls them over. And they were gonna get on the wait list at that point, so they had a long time to go. He suggested it. He's like, why don't you guys just join us? So you have a shorter wait. And in my head, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is so awkward.
So we went to dinner with my parents for our first actual real date. Our first kiss, we were watching Netflix. We were Netflixing and kissing.
And I could kind of get the vibes. He wanted to kiss me, and I was kind of at the same thing with the hand holding thing. I was like, oh, I don't know. So I kind of just was not making it easy. And then he kind of just goes for it.
I just gave her a peck, and I guess she didn't like just a peck.
I don't know. It was just mom and dad status. I was like, what kind of kiss is this?
And so she told me that I kissed weird. Then we kissed a little more than a peck.
Probably my favorite date or memory thing is I talked about how I really wanted to, or I'd wish that I'd hike Delicate Arch, kind of random. I've been to Moab, but I've never had hiked up to the Arch. He's one to go on trips and stuff, and I'm kind of the one that just doesn't. I just stay home at work, I don't take days off. And then he just kind of makes this trip happen, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. So then we borrowed this Dodge truck, and we ended up going to Moab, and so that we could hike Delicate Arch. So that was really fun. He kind of helped me do something I always wanted to do.
I have kind of a difficult career. Being in the Army, I tend to be gone a lot. And the first couple months of us dating, I ended up being gone basically that whole summer. Just the fact that she was able to stick around and deal with it and continually be able to put up with my career, that was kind of one of the first signs because that's something that's really difficult. Every other girl, as soon as I've like left, I come home and they have like a new boyfriend, and she stuck around. So I was really nervous to get her a ring, but I had bought her a ring. It didn't have a band that twists. My sister helped me pick it out. I went to the mall and went to every store until I found like this one.
I was very suspicious of it happening because my mom started acting kind of weird. So she charges her phone in our bathroom. At one point, I picked up her phone and I kind of just like looked at it, and I saw that she had a message from Sam. I didn't have time to look at it because then my mom had like woken up or something. She was coming and I was like, oh crap, so I put the phone down. But I really like wanted to look at her phone, so I made a point like the next night to try and look at it, and it wasn't in the bathroom. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, where's her phone? But then Sam kind of threw me off because the day before he did, he's like, oh, we should probably wait a little bit longer, and I was like, what the heck?
Before I proposed, we went to a movie, kind of as our pre-date. As we drove past this jewelry store that had this band that like twisted and twirled, she's like, I want that one, I like that one. But I had like the ring in my pocket, and I was like, oh, she's gonna hate it.
When we were driving back from the movie, he suggested, he's like, oh, how about this weekend we go and look at rings? So then at that point I was like, oh, I was kind of thinking it's coming, but I guess he really hasn't even gotten a ring, so we're gonna go look.
While we were at the movie, that day I had bought like a whole bunch of stuff to have like this really nice dinner and balloons that said marry me. The most important part of the dinner is we've always like had pot stickers, and so we had like this big fancy dinner with pot stickers.
When we were in the car on the way from the movie, he was kind of like, so I don't even know what, he was asking me like asking me like which finger the ring goes on, like sorry, what hand, the right or the left one. And for some reason he was thinking it was like right, and then we were like Googling it, so we were kind of like doing that like right before.
Basically, we got done watching the movie and we went back to my parents' house, and this nice dinner was set up with pop stickers and some other stuff.
And then when I came back after that movie, I walked in and there was like music playing in the background, and it was kind of like lights were like dimmed, and it was like super clean compared, because there was like kids running around all over the place. And then I was like, oh, it's really clean in here.
And the kitchen was kind of back in the corner, and so she walked through the door and couldn't see anything, and then in the very corner there was marry me and balloons.
And I walked a little bit farther and I saw that, and then I was just like a little bit embarrassed, I think maybe. And I like looked behind me, and his sisters are back there video recording it. And Sam kind of like gets on his knee and like grabs my right hand and stuff. And he like goes for like to put it on this hand, and I was like, we just talked about this, it goes on the left.
I proposed and put the ring on the wrong finger, and now we're getting married. I don't think I was like really nervous. I just was like, crap, hope she likes this ring. I think we picked the right one. She seems to like it. She wears it every day. I love that she works hard.
He's super outgoing in a way that compliments me. I'm kind of the person who would rather be a homebody and stay in, and he helps me to be a little bit more adventurous, like going mountain biking. I never would have done that, and he got me to do that, and I actually really like it.
She does a lot for her family. She's very independent. I think that's one of the biggest things that I hate about her and that I love about her. She's very, very independent. And I love how driven she is. She just works really hard at everything.
I guess like how we've gone on a couple trips to Moab. Yeah, once we went there for mountain, I guess the first time we went there to hike Delicate Arch, and the second time was for mountain biking. And I kind of like the adventurous side of him. I really love that about him.
I'm ready to just start our own thing and have like our own traditions and do our own thing and be our own little family.